Coach got off to a quick start, 6-0 in the first minute of the game, but then Butler answered with a 19-0 run, and then from there it was kind of back and forth the rest of the way. How did you see today's game play out?
Yeah, I thought, give credit to them. They shot the ball really, really well. That might have been the best they shot it all season. And I felt like once they made a couple, then everybody got confident. And then once everybody gets confident, it becomes harder to guard. And it makes the mistakes you can't have, it minimizes them. Because when a team's that warm from the outside, it's tough. And I thought we did. I thought the first, few minutes we came out, we hit our shots, we were defending, and then they kind of went. But I told the team there's a lot of open shots. Just their screening action got us into scrambles. We weren't ready to defend, and then we tried to, pick up our pressure even more, and I thought that rattled them a little bit. But I said the difference in this game was the first quarter, because if you look at the second, third, and fourth, we were right there. But you cannot, especially in the Big East, it's too talented of a league. You cannot spot a team that many points in the first quarter and come out with a win. It's just too hard. You're playing catch-up the whole game.
Defensively in the second half, you talk about playing catch-up. You tried to do that in the second half where Butler had 17 turnovers in the game, but 14 of those 17 were in the second half. So did you feel like the defensive intensity in the second half was better? Yeah,
definitely, and I thought we got back to playing the way we were, just up in the passing lanes, pressuring the ball, and our kids, brought it more with energy, and that's what it became too.
65 points, pretty good. Your percentages, I think, pretty good. 42% from the field, 46% from three, 92 at the free throw line, 12 of 13. Most of the time you're going to be a little bit closer than 79-65 with those numbers.
Yeah, I thought our offense was pretty good. Other than the travels and stepping out of bounds, you can't live. Those are turnovers that are controllable. It's your footwork that we work on every day, and you have to know where you are on the court. So those are things that we can control. You take those away, and maybe the game's closer, But that's something I thought our offense overall was pretty good. It came down to our defense, and it came down to our defense in the first quarter that hurt us, and then again, we just couldn't come back.
Talk a little bit about Michaela's day. She continues to be very solid for you. Drove it in, I thought, a lot just to try to pick up contact, and then converted that 8 of 8 from the free throw line.
Yeah, Michaela's continuing to grow. I mean, if you look at her stats from last year to this year, she's improved tremendously, and she continues to lead us. She's that kid that you don't know if she's having a bad day. She's steady Eddie and brings it every single day. But I just spotlighted Yune in the locker room. I said that kid, if you look, hasn't had the minutes, but talk about a big impact. I said she was the only kid on our roster that was in the positive. She was ready. She handled the ball. She got us into offense. She scored. She defended. She picked up. And I thought that's when we really went on a run, is when Yune went in the game. And that's a credit to her, because she's team first mentality. I'll do whatever the team needs to win. But we're looking to grow on this for sure. That's first and foremost. We got to grow, and we cannot come out defensively like that again.
Fernando wasn't available today due to the travel difficulty. How much did that maybe impact your offensive scheme today?
I think it's always tough because, a couple weeks ago, Shelby, it's hard to get chemistry going, I think, when you have players out like this. But I said we can't make excuses, because Butler had the same thing. They had starters that played and starters were out. So if you look, we're equal. So who comes ready to play? And that's what it's about in this league that's so tough.
Butler didn't make a field goal in the last 6:15 of the game, and it felt like when you needed the stops, you got the stops, but then the offense didn't come around when you needed it to at the end of the game. Was that how you saw it too?
Yeah, I thought we missed a lot. I thought we were getting open layups. We were getting there, and we were missing them. And that's where you got to finish. You got to finish around the rim. We got to finish those layups, because then that changes the game as well.
Yeah, we were talking on the broadcast about how it felt like in those closing minutes, the game felt closer than 10 or 13 points, because it felt like Xavier was probably a 3 or 2 away from being right there on the edge of closing that gap, and it just felt like maybe you couldn't get that score when you needed it to, which hasn't always been the story this year.
Yeah, I felt that too, and then we were trying to get to the offensive glass, and it was like tip, tip, tip. But yeah, I thought overall, again, offensively, I thought we did some good things. We got to continue to grow that way as well. And the turnovers in the first half, they got us.
5 of your next 9 here are going to be at home, and then you're going to finish up on a schedule maker wasn't really kind to you on this one. 7 of the last 11 are on the road. Are you conscious of the opportunistic stretch you have here to try to get some wins here at home?
Yeah, and that's what I told them. Like, you got to protect the X, especially on your home court. You got to be able to win the ones on your home court, and you can't let them. And I said, all right, we're almost, halfway through the season. You can never, ever, ever take a game day for granted. And from here on out, it's pretty much 2 days and then a game, 2 days and then a game. So the lock-in and focus needs to be there, but it starts with consistency and it starts in practice.
Okay, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.